Well, this week, the images of family and friends of those killed during the Parkland massacre will be greeting lawmakers. These portraits are meant to remind the Florida legislature what was lost during the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting nearly 2 years ago.
Incredible that it's been 2 years, isn't it? Capitol reporter FORREST Saunders is at the State House tonight with more on who's behind this effort. FORREST, these images are really hard to avoid, aren't they?
That's absolutely right. I mean, they're right outside of the fourth floor elevators in the Capitol's rotunda, so lawmakers are going to have a very difficult time avoiding them as they walk into their chambers. What photojournalist Ian Whitland sees looking at these photographs:
I see anguish, I see pain.
Suffering he captured in the faces of parents, teachers, and fellow students who lost someone when the Parkland shooter opened fire, killing 17.
It really hits a nerve.
An excerpt of his work now sitting in the Capitol. The images staring at those headed to Senate and House chambers. A physical reminder of what happened nearly 2 years ago.
These are your constituents. They may be from Parkland and Coral Springs, but they are the same faces and stories from elsewhere in our state and our country.
This display, an effort by a Broward County lawmaker, Representative Dan Daly.
Parkland is in the past. For my community, it's still very prevalent, and we're still healing.
Daly showcasing the photos as lawmakers consider gun law reform. Though not intended to pass specific legislation, he'd be happy to see the pictures help support policies like Senate Bill 7028, requires background checks at gun shows.
If that's the unintended consequence, then I think that's a pretty good thing.
The bill hasn't moved since passing its first committee last month. Plus, it's drawn criticism from gun rights groups for being too strict, despite having the support of Democrats and some GOP members.
I think anything we can do is a step in the right direction.
As lawmakers head to work this week, perhaps these faces will play a role in what happens next. A reminder of the past, potentially influencing the future. Now, that display, called Anguish in the Aftermath, is going to be up there on the fourth floor until Friday. That, of course, marks the 2-year anniversary of the Parkland shooting. That's the latest out here in front of the Capitol. I'll send it back to you at the desk.